let's pivot to the social media aspect of it, because like I said, just in this span of what, 2-3 years, you've amassed a major following. You're able to do deals with, your students, your followers, your admirers. Talk about, that journey, and what does it take to create that brand and brand awareness in the span of time that you did.
It's funny because it's literally the exact same thing as doing deals. Whether it's doing deals or building a brand, the most important thing is consistency in the action, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I think with wholesaling, people are always scared like, how's the call going to go? Am I going to sound stupid? Am I going to, are they going to be mean to me? And then with social media, it's the same thing. How am I going to look? Am I going to sound stupid? Are people going to be mean? It's the same exact things that hold people back. I think it takes a little bit of like, I don't give a F attitude about I'm just going to do it because I know this is something that's going to pay off in the long run. I got on Wholesale Hotline before I ever did a deal because told you I was like binge watching, right? And I asked Brent and Jamil and Pace.
What?
Yeah. I
Oh, like you got it in the comment section and like asked a question.
Well, they were like, drop a comment. I don't remember what they said, but they were like, if you whatever, you're going to be on Wholesale Hotline tonight and you're going to be able to ask a question like on camera, right? So I
Yeah.
applied or whatever I had to do, I
Yeah.
did it because I wanted to ask them if you could go back in time to when you first started, what would you do? Because I'm first starting, right? So I asked all three of them that. And
Right.
all three of them said, I would have documented my journey from the beginning. Because even just in the past few years of being serious about documenting and
Mm.
doing social media, what we've been able to do um financially, JVs, partnerships, multi-millionaires and billionaires knowing who you are and coming up to you and saying, hey, you came up across my feed and I see you're doing big things. Can you help me? Or do you want to partner? Or do you have a deal that? And these relationships and these doors open up just from documenting your journey. And all three of them said that. So then I'm like, all right, I haven't even done a deal yet. So let me make this new Instagram. I made a new Instagram because everybody on my personal Instagram was hating on me. And I was like, I'm going to start a whole new Instagram and it's all going to be about wholesaling. And when I did my first deal, I made a YouTube account with the same name and I posted my first video. And from that first video, I was like $15,000 on my first wholesale deal. From that first video, it just went crazy. Like people saw the video, they followed me on Instagram, they started asking me for help. And the fact that I was consistent on both platforms, I'd made a YouTube video every week. I did like 2 posts a day. And like if someone out there has the time and scrolls all the way to like my first Instagram post, you will see me sitting there in the corner of my bedroom saying, I'm sending out my first text blast. Like, what do you think is going to happen? I'm going to start cold calling, me with this headset on, like doing my first dials. So I think it's just documenting the journey. Make it a journey. Don't make it like, oh, I'm the guru of real estate and I'm on here gonna give you the crazy game and every post you're like giving advice. Like nobody cares about that shit. Like everybody does that and nobody cares about
Right.
that. Be yourself, be authentic. Like talk about the hard parts. Talk about what just happened in this transaction. This happened, you guys, and I learned this. Do it from I'm speaking from my perspective as a single mom of 2 kids, as someone who was a waitress who didn't have any business experience or real estate experience. I'm speaking from my point of view versus like I'm doing social media. It's like I'm allowing people into my life through the medium of social media. And I think it's important a lot of people try to like come up with the personal brand. No, you're the personal brand. You just have to figure out the qualities about yourself that are most marketable and that people will relate to the most. And I didn't think of all this, but like, okay, since then, right? Because I didn't plan for it to go the way it did. But when I saw, all right, I'm getting a lot of traction, I invested into education on like I'm a part of Russell Brunson's thing and like I've invested into learning about digital marketing and becoming the attractive character, what they call it. Like, who are you and who are you speaking to? And it's important to understand those two things
Yeah.
because that's the frame that all your content is going to be created from. So, it was really just me digging into like, who am I? I'm a creative person. I like to write. I love, I love to cook. I try to think about the things that I am and think about who out there needs me specifically. A lot of women out there feel like they can't be successful in this industry. A lot of mothers out there, single mothers especially, feel like they could never run a business while having kids. It is hard, it is a lot. And those are the people that I feel like if they see me that I can do it, then they will be inspired that they could do it, because who are the women I look up to? They're single moms who are killing it, making
Right.
multi-millions of dollars a year. And they're out there and they make me know that I can do it. So it's the same thing. There's always someone that's just one or two steps right behind you. And those are the people that we always need to be doing it for, but not giving advice to. I think there's a fine line. Like you have to some advice, but
Mm.
also a lot of honest, transparent, organic, just transparency. Because I think right now everybody is just giving advice, and it's like it's kind of getting old.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And just, documenting your process, right, is more important than that, than, speaking to the camera and trying to teach people all the time, especially as people are scrolling, right? I you hit the nail on the head, and I know it's working because your growth is showing it. Just to give the listeners, and then we'll go to Deal Diary section, just to give the listeners some encouragement. How much business has your social presence brought you, call it, in the past year?
At least like 11 deals.
Nice.
And I would like,
Nice. I love
I don't know
that.
the exact dollar amount, but if we said the average deal was, um, let's just say let's say like not 80, 90K, to just put a number on it, because they're JV deals. So I'm splitting them. But guess what? My biggest
Love
deal
it. Good
ever,
stuff.
my
Yeah.
biggest deal ever was a JV, and that was a $140,000 assignment. So I would say like the fact that my biggest deal ever came
What?
from a JV, that's proof enough that everybody should be documenting their journey, because you never know who's going to hear it and be like, I have this lead, I don't know what to do.
How,
Can you help me?
wait, how the hell did you JV for 140 grand? Like, was it a flip?
It was a four houses side by side in Griffin, Georgia. And then my somebody on Instagram who I knew from my personal life, but they've been following me on the virtual account, Tadi Virtual account, and they're like, I see you're doing real estate. I'm talking to this lady. I've been in all these wholesaling groups. I'm talking to this lady out in Georgia. I don't know what to do. So I just talked to the lady. I got it under contract, and then I found a buyer too. And I still split it 50-50, even though I locked it up and found the buyer. I'm like, I still split it with him, and I paid people on my team too for like just helping out. So
That
it
was
was cool. It
nice.
was really cool that the
That was
biggest
nice.
assignment fee. I've netted more on other deals than that one, but my biggest assignment fee came from a JV deal.
That's all for this episode of the Send More Offers Real Estate Show with Brandon Barnes. But we know you're craving more knowledge to get yourself ready for that next deal. To schedule a call with Brandon to learn more about how to do deals consistently without seller appointments in a repeatable way, be sure to visit us at sendmoreoffers.com. And be sure to tune in for the next episode of the Send More Offers Real Estate Show.